What you think, man?
I've been in the polyamory lifestyle. I can't even say lifestyle because it's not a lifestyle. It's a way of loving, not a way of living. I've been polyamorous for about 10 years now.
Okay.
And the mindset for me is mentally, I think I've been polyamorous longer than actually practicing it because I've always felt that this like monogamy just doesn't fit for me. Right. I don't understand why I have to only love one person or why I can only show affection for one person. Where is this written? Why do I have to go along with what the societal standard supposedly is?
Right.
And then the problem comes when you love somebody too much. When you let yourself love somebody too much,
and they don't love you the same.
It's not even matter whether they love you back or not. They can love you back, but it's still unhealthy to love somebody that much. Which I understand that ideology of that. Well, I can't have. I might as well. I've been there. I know that. But at the same time, you have to realize, what your culpability is in a relationship going, however it went. You start thinking about, well, damn, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. So, you can love somebody too much. And then, see, that complicates things for us men because we already have a hard time forming those emotional attachments. You already told them, don't do that.
The missing link to that goes back to a time before we even thought, why doesn't my father is that a protection for me?
Right.
Or is that the way he was raised? Or maybe somebody hugged him one day, a man hugged him. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying we got
but there are things that could have happened that absolutely that caused him to be the way he is.
Made him feel weird, needed.
Right.
So the things that we think are sometimes a rejection or a lack may have been a protection.
And most of the time they are like absolutely. But if we don't understand that, all we know is a rejection.
You see, like what I understand with my father,
men were going to jail, killing each other, and then now we got bisexual, then we got gays, now we got transgender. So with all of that going on, the purpose of that was removing the black man, the black male from the household. Okay? So with him not being in the household, she's getting the welfare, or she's out there in the workforce, forced to take care of herself, and if she have children, to take care of the children alone. Whether he's in jail, whether he's dead, whether he's bisexual, whether he's gay, whatever. The black male was removed from the home, and black woman was forced to provide for the children, for herself.
You're missing one other thing that removes black male from the home. That's white women. Because after a while, it was run on black men, white women. Yeah, white women. At one point, black men, they just had to have a white woman. No matter what their social economical status was, white women was the way to go. And so that pulled a lot of black men out of the house.
Damn, I sure missed that. I mean, I know Rick James, I know, you did it. I just didn't think of that as a major absence of the black man. So
being a provider means so many things.
Right.
It means put you in a house. It means I got your back. It means we're doing this together. It means I'm not going to walk away when things get hard. That's providing, right? I'm going to provide emotional protection so that you can, I'll be present for you when you don't feel like you can be there for yourself or whatever, so there's so much more definition to the thing, right? And even on the flip side, looking at, the men with kids, right? I remember I did not want a man who had kids. And I was about 25 when I met my ex-husband. And stuff like that.
Yo, what's happening? Welcome to another Speak On It podcast, 2K24 summer edition. But man, that fall is in the air, and that's my favorite time of the year. So that fall edition gonna be something. But what's happening with you? It's a lot going on, man. Shout out to the victims of the shooting in Atlanta today. Actually in Winder. I had a shooting in Winder today. A couple of lives were lost. What's up with these school shootings? What's up with the security at the school? That's a totally different topic. That it's I just know it's crazy. Super crazy. Phones blowing up. It's crazy. And you hate to be that parent that don't know, and we can't predict anything, but you hate to be that parent that child don't make it back home, so my prayers are with the family and the faculty out there at that school. It's just a lot going on today, man. Things we never thought we'd see is going on today. So just stay prayed up and tell your loved ones you love them. I don't care how much you feel they're wrong or whatever. Start telling your loved ones you love them on a regular basis, because you never know. You really don't when it's the last time you're gonna see them. So let's try to keep that in mind. And okay, we got a trending topic I'm gonna drop on this. Football season's here, man. It's just so much. Football season is here. It starts Sunday, so all the real football fans will be tuned in uh, to the television set watching their favorite team this Sunday. I'm just gonna consistency, so I'm just gonna jump in, give my thoughts on it, show you a couple videos, give my point on it. I'm gonna give you a formula that may work for the couples that's living together that don't really want to do the 50-50 thing, but the woman needs, feel like she needs to contribute and the guy isn't making enough, or vice versa. I'm gonna come up with a formula and I'm gonna give my thoughts on it. Anybody who feel like they want to join in and accent my thoughts or compliment them, feel free. One moment. Topic of the night. Okay. Topic. Many couples are now saying that the 50-50 that was also popular is not so popular now. What happened? And so that's what the trending topic is about today. Why the 50-50 isn't so popular like it popped out there being. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to touch up on that tonight on the Speak On It podcast 2K24. I'm your host, DJ Black. So let me dive in. Okay, 50-50 relationships. Me personally, I'm more traditional. Um, even though I know times have changed since Big Daddy and Dad, um, I was brought up seeing that. You know what I'm saying? I was brought up seeing men run the household or men being the breadwinners. So I'm kind of traditional. Okay. So a lot of my thoughts is going to be based on traditional, but yet I still understand and don't knock, what's going on today. I mean, okay, and on the cool, we are quick to say we know the women weren't working back then. They didn't have good jobs. A few of them were teachers. Uh, Mom was like a paralegal. Mom worked at a chemical plant, secretary. So they had jobs, but it was very few who had them jobs. Some even worked at the mill back then, um, and was single and making their own money. Okay, so I can't knock that because it was happening. So women had jobs. Okay, but if they were married, though them women had jobs, the man was still the sole provider. Um, he was considered head of the household. He was considered man of the house. Okay. And as that title, he pretty much had the final say so on majority of the decisions. Mom put in her thoughts, and then they come together. Then at the end of the day, dad would say, well, I don't think we need to do that. And that was a wrap, you know. So, but now the economy messed up. Okay, we get that. But guess what? $120,000 today was equivalent to a man making $60,000 in the 70s, early 80s. So we're gonna say 70s and 80s. $60,000 was back then equivalent to that because the prices were low. So we can say, oh, it wasn't the same back then. Um, Things were cheaper back then. Okay, so though the money is different, if you go back to the prices of gas, fruit, food, meat back in the 70s compared to what we're paying today, then you look at the paychecks from the 70s compared to the paychecks of the day, or paychecks of the 80s compared to today, and do the math, and I am a math person, um, the prices for what they were paying is equivalent to what we're doing, is just on a bigger scale. So 120, 60, we'll say half of that was back in the 70s and early 80s. So, and every woman in my household and every woman in my family, they worked. So, well, they didn't have jobs. Women didn't have jobs. Yeah, they worked. Big Mama was even a substitute teacher. So there were jobs. Now, there weren't many engineers, though I knew an engineer, female engineer in the 80s. Might have been in the 90s. Yeah, I knew a female engineer. But yeah, we sit back and say, oh, things just weren't the same. It wasn't too different. Women have more opportunities. Women are now more educated. Women are, well, if you do the ratio of the ones who went to school that graduated in the 80s and 90s, majority of the women stayed in school and got their degree compared to the men. A lot of men jumped out and got them jobs because they wanted them cars, they was having them babies, and so they let the school thing go. And they pursued to make money. Okay. And so when you look at that, then you come from a traditional family where Big Daddy took care of all the bills, Dad paid all the bills, Mom worked, she contributed to the household. And then Mom also uh, had her bills, he had his bills. And like I stated earlier on the post, under the original post, before you go and decide you're going to get in a long-term relationship with anybody, it's things you need to consider. And one of the things you need to consider is, what's up, Shannon Brooks, man? What's happening with you? You need to be on here saying your piece. You done got camera shy. You used to be up and up, but now you camera shy, I guess. I don't know. Throw the rock, hide your hand. But that's my buddy, though. We go way back. Arkansas, what it do? But yeah. When you're dating with a purpose, there's certain things you need to consider. And that's their baggage, their habits, and their bills. I call it the BHB. You have to look into that, because their baggage, their habits, and their bills. Okay? Because any grown person that you meet, and when I say grown, I'm saying 25, 26 plus, even the ones who's fresh out of college, they have that student loan hanging over their head. A lot of guys, you finna inherit that debt if you get with somebody, long term. Her student loan debt becomes yours. Like my partner Austin said under the post, him and his wife, they look at all their bills and they come together with it. They put the bills together. They have one account, and before either any of them dip in the account to do anything major over a certain amount of dollars, they have to consult the other. You know, that's one method. Inspiring couples, same goal set. I've seen that. Uh, now, me on the other hand, uh, I've seen it several ways. I've seen it wasn't 50-50, but they look at what each other make, and then a portion of it goes into the bill account. You know what I'm saying? The expense account. What we owe, outcome. And that's electric, you know what I'm saying, mortgage, car note, car insurance, water, um, your phone, your cables, and all that stuff. Um, and then you look at who's the breadwinner, and based on who's the breadwinner determines which bills you get. Because nowadays, with women being more independent, especially, then you have women coming from living by themselves, and they're not quick to get in a relationship or move in with a man and have to deal with him wanting her to submit, the submission thing. So a lot of them like, okay. And then there's this couple where um, they want to live together. You know what I'm saying? They want to get out and explore. They don't want to live with the roommate. They don't want to live with uh, mom them. My bad, y'all. Hold up. I'm in here experimenting. They don't okay. Hold up. Okay, here we go. Okay, they don't want to live with their moms. They want to get out there and live on their own. And so they get together and they say, hey, you meet somebody, he has an apartment, she has an apartment or house. So let's just say he has a townhouse and she has a house. He's paying $1,300 for rent. She's paying $2,000 for rent or a mortgage. they meet each other, then they decide, okay, well, he's paying his, she's paying hers. Then they decide, well, let's come together. I'm not letting the house go, so if we're gonna be together, you don't have to be paying your $1,300 rent. You can come over here, and what you paying over there, you can pay here. I don't advise a man to move in with a woman, especially nowadays. I don't advise that. I always preach every man need his own. But if you know your mate and you just happen to be lucky enough to get one that's different, that really has both of your best interests at heart, you can try that. You can try that. And it may work. I would just be uncomfortable because of things I've seen. And I'm one of those ones, if I see Edward spinning around and he fall in the ditch or fall in a hole, I don't have to do the same thing and fall in that hole. I know to get away from that hole. So, with that being said, with the right female, the right woman, the right mate, let me just say mate now. Back in the day, we could say, well, with the right mate, and you all come together with one goal, and that's to better each other, live better, and build a life including each other. No personal agendas. The 50-50, 100-100, it works. The reason I feel that they're saying it don't work is because a lot of women feel like if they are working and contributing to the household, especially the one that's not used to working. Now, you have some females out there, some women out there that got out there at 16, 17, 18 and been working all their life, making their own money, buying their own clothes. Those are going to be the ones that's harder to submit. And when you say baggage, that's part of the baggage. Baggage just don't mean children. Baggage also means what she's used to or what she's been through in life also. So it just depends on what type of woman you're getting. Okay. What type of man or woman you're getting, because we all come with baggage. Whether that guy had to drop out of school and support the family because pops left the household, that's a baggage that he's going to carry with him. Can't nobody tell him what to do. I've been on my own and raising myself all my life. Then that woman comes in with whatever. So it's just a lot. So you have to be willing to accept the baggage first. The baggage, then the habits, then the bills. Habits. Let me focus on the habits. So I call this my BHB. Habits. Whether her habit is spending, because you have women who, and some men, that gets depressed and they want to spend. Get depressed, they want to eat. And spending and eating costs money. So you have that. Then they may like to drink. They may like to smoke. Drinking and smoking costs money. Give me my money. It costs money to do that. So those are habits. Traveling falls under habits. So now we got the first B, which is baggage. I'm going over to H, habits. Next comes bills. When you're looking to date with a purpose, finding your person, you don't want to just have somebody to hang out and have sex with. You looking to create a family here. you have to factor in their bills. Their bills, whether it's she's taking care of a family member, whether her car note, rather, student loan, uh, credit cards, credit card debt, um, her actual bills, uh, different little accounts that she has with these different little loan companies, paying back her 401ks and behind on that. So it's just a lot of things that you have to consider when getting into a serious relationship with a person. Um, and so many do result to 50-50, especially today. Economy messed up. Some of the jobs, the people, you're not making enough money. Times have gotten where people are putting in ads looking for roommates just to have somewhere to stay because they can't afford the rent. So times are hard. But as I watch a few of these videos, a lot of the guys are coming from traditional backgrounds, a lot of them. And you have a lot of the millennials and under them that's cool with living off a woman. They cool with living off a woman. But if you came from I came from a two-parent household. When you come from a two-parent household and you kind of see how things were ran, no matter how we try to run from it, when you've seen that growing up, especially from 4 years old till graduation, that's the way it's always been ran in your household. Even though you understood what Joe was going through or what Mike was going through across the street and on the street over with single parenting, mom only in the household. When you came from a traditional background where the man took care of all the bills and made sure that the family was straight before he go to work, go out there, do his work, come back home, expecting a good a meal, and you've been growing up seeing that. Even though it's out with the old, in with the new, it's still going to be a little bit old in you, because you understand. And even if the bills or the mortgage or the rent is overwhelming, you're still going to have that sense of, I need to do more, or I want to be able to take care of everything if something happened. That's where majority of them, that's where the majority of the traditional men headset is. But things don't always go that way, And a partner of mine and I, my old co-host, him and I used to debate all the time because he was like, he was sold on, you got to have a JOB if you're going to be with me. He said women had told him that no romance without finance, and and all this crazy stuff. And so he bought into that, and he feels some type of way when it comes to women. And I'm like, a woman has never even fixed her mouth to say that to me. I think they know who to say that to. And then again, I think it's just her trying to see, will it work on somebody? I don't really think it's a woman out here. I mean, it is, I'm sure, especially if enough guys can gas her head up and she's been pimping, them. But that's getting old because beauty isn't rare anymore. And I say on damn near every podcast, it's a pretty bitch on every corner now. So beauty is nothing. Then you have all these BBLs and things. So that's nothing. And especially if the guy's established and then been there, done that, that's nothing. So I put together a formula though, and I'm gonna show the formula later on to the couples that's living together, both of them working, and they making ends meet. There's an incident with someone I know that's having issues in kind of the 50-50 relationship. When they're committed to paying their half, that's it. And I give a shout out to Tiffany Brown Dotson, who said this last year when we kind of touched up on the topic. She said a relationship is 100-100. You give 100 and your mate gives 100. Okay. And I feel the 100-100 because that made so much sense. It will work out better. The 100-100, I feel, will work out better than a 50-50. Because the incident that I just witnessed was, let's just say if my half of the rent is $500 and my mate only has $25 of it because something happened, whether it's medical, whether it's unexpected expenses, what I call it. And then my reply be, well, I paid my 50, so I don't know what we're gonna do. I paid my 500, so you're gonna have to get your 475, you know what I'm saying, whatever the best way you can. I paid mine. So if we get an eviction notice, it's your fault. That's what 50-50 could lead to if you're in that type of 50-50 relationship, which to me means it's no love and you really are roommates. So a lot of people see the 50-50 as being a roommate now. And so I never was a fan per se of the 50-50. I always wanted to at least be able to support everything in the event that my person, my mate, my wife could not come with her half. I want to be like, okay, well, I don't want to, but let me go in this bank account and get this money. You get what I'm saying? I have it, but we agreed on me paying this, you paying that. But I also understand that main clause, shit happens. I understand that. And I include that in my decision making. Okay, if I'm about to get this car, what if, and a lot of people want to look at, well, I can drive Uber or I can work extra hours on the job. Whatever that you're doing, saying extra, shit can happen. So you have to base your decisions on the capital that you have coming into your home. You can't say I'll just take more hours. I'll pick up an extra shift. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And not be successful, because anything can happen. They could say, well, no more shifts this time. I can just work a few more hours, no overtime. You know what I'm saying? And then you jumping off in there doing that overtime, making $2,500 a pay period. You know what I'm saying? $3,000 a pay period. Then they cut that out. Now you back to your 2,000, your 1,800. Then what? You see what I'm saying? So never count. That's why they say never count your chickens before they hatch, because some of them may be stillborn. You get what I'm saying? So they may not. They may not be a chickie in there. So I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got them in your hand, a bird in the hand beats two in the bush. You got to see if you're gonna catch them two in the bush. But I know what I got in my hand, and that's how you need to do it. And I'm gonna start holding. At least I know I'm gonna have a guest on here, and we're gonna talk about finances too on the fall edition. Probably talk a little bit about some credit. You know what I'm saying? I know how to get your credit going, but it's just different avenues, and I may just have the fall. I'm gonna open up a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? My followers are coming. everything is, it's looking up and up. So I try to do something a little different. But fall, I may do a little session on finance. I'm gonna show you a formula tonight though that may work also with this 50-50. But me personally, the 50-50 is cool, but I just feel like since I come from more of a traditional background, I want to be able to supply and support the whole family because that's what I've seen coming up. And if she has a job and she has the money to contribute and help out, hey, I'm with it. But it's not a requirement that you have to go 50-50 or else. You know what I'm saying? That's not a requirement for me. You know what I'm saying? If it's somebody who I care about, a wife, somebody who I'm building with, somebody I love. Now, if I'm just moving in with somebody and we trying to get to know each other and I don't want to live with moms or she don't want to live with her moms and we move in, okay, yeah, we're gonna split up. But when that commitment comes and we're taking that next level of being together, husband, wife, I just feel like it's going to be my obligation to make sure if I don't cover all, if something happened, I can cover all. That's just how I was raised, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. And that's coming from a more of a traditional standpoint, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of millennials and Gen X think like that, okay? But as it trickle on down to this newer generation, this the modern day dating, the modern day women and men, that men will live off them women, drop them off at work, ain't got 2 nickels to rub together, pole hustling, have a good 2 weeks selling product, and then I have a bad week we ain't sold no product. You know what I'm saying? Then he's selling the dream. I'm in the studio. I'm in the yo. And those women are actually putting up with that. While the guy in the yo, she up there working at the Chicken Plant or Chase, CenturyLink somewhere, while he in the yo, saying that he gonna be this big time rapper because he opening up for Lil Boosie that's gonna be in Lafayette next week. And I get that. You need that support. But when that 50-50 talk come up, my thing is, how can you be man of the house? You're a man in the house, but you can't say you're a man of the house. There is a difference. You have a man in the house, you have a man of the house. And if a lot of times if that woman's going 50-50 with you, you're losing out on respect also. But I'm gonna run a few videos and then I'm gonna show my formula. If you don't like the 50-50, I'm gonna show the formula, but let's drop a video and then I'll voice my opinion on it.
50-50 is fair in a relationship. Now, I know a lot of women gonna be against this. They think the man should take over the load, but I think different. 40, 50, 60 odd some years ago, maybe 70, y'all fought for women's rights. Y'all did all that and fought for women's rights. Y'all got y'all rights, and now y'all want to control the narrative and tell us what we should do and tell us how we should handle the household and things of that nature. No. Y'all wanted women's rights. Y'all wanted to work. Y'all want to do all that. Y'all going 50-50 on these bills. Y'all going 50-50 on this household regardless. I don't want to hear it. Can't no woman jump in no relationship with me and think it's not going to be 50-50. I'm not handling the load. It's either 90-10, you, or it's going to be 50-50. We do it together. Nothing gets fairer than that. That's fully fair. I don't see what's the problem with that. Women want you to do everything. Pay the bill. They want you to be able to lay it down in bed. They want you to be able to fix everything. They want you to protect the household. Do that leave any room for us to just be us and do what we want to do? No. Y'all want us to do everything. And what y'all gonna do? What do y'all expect y'all supposed to be doing? Nothing. Oh, I take care of the kids, the household. I do this. Half of y'all don't clean up. Half of y'all don't cook. Majority of y'all don't clean up. Majority of y'all don't cook. Y'all don't do nothing. Y'all ain't handy. What is you bringing to the table? Well, let me guess. Porno sex. We can get that anywhere nowadays. It's too easy. Access is everywhere. We need more than that. You're going to have to bring way more to the table than that. You feel me? How about y'all take care of us? Staying home, doing household things, that's easy. For men like me, that's easy. Let a woman take care of me. Food going to be done, house going to be clean, kids going to be on the schedule. In bed when you get home, I'm going to rub your feet. I'm going to eat your body alive, everything. Life ain't fair, man. And y'all making it worse. It's hard for a man out here, man, especially a black man.
Now, the other things he said was funny. Some of it made a little sense. That was my mindset. I'm going to say fresh out of college. I'm going to say 2-3 years out of college. That was my mindset. You got to contribute something because I'm not going to be like dad, busting his ass. I always say 18 hours a day, 16 hours, whatever, busting his ass. And, mama at home chilling under air conditioning. Okay. So I was like, then watching shows like Roseanne and all that stuff. I was like, nah, I ain't finna be that man wearing them dusty shoes and a flannel shirt and the dirty jeans, busting his ass for pennies and then coming home, no, sir. I couldn't do that. So, but for him to say 90% and she taking care of him, let him try that shit with a woman of the day, especially a woman that's from the streets that's used that ain't had nothing, that's finally got something. That shit ain't gonna fly. She gonna throw that shit in his face every day. I cook this here. We eat cause of that. That car you riding in is mine, and you wouldn't have been able to get that if I wouldn't have gave you the down payment. Them shoes you wearing, I got you with my income tax. So no, sir. I don't. I'm straight on that. I'm straight on that. And any man who really thinks like that, the 90-10 and it's her way, that's weak. So no, I don't agree with that one. I don't agree with that one because I don't want no one in control on where I sleep or what I'm able to do. You see what I'm saying? Because a woman will kick you out the house just for the hell of it because her friends said that they don't like you. So no, I'm not gonna put myself in a situation where I have to depend on anybody, but especially a woman for my well-being. You know what I'm saying? So that's out. Peep this one.
But guess wasn't 50-50. The dishes wasn't 50-50. The laundry wasn't 50-50. The cleaning wasn't 50-50. And that's an everyday motherfucking job. I come home and they got food on the table, got clothes on the bed, got shit everywhere. Every day I'm exhausted. I'm coming home, I'm cleaning my house. And yes, I do that anyways. But when it's just you, it's just you. When you are cleaning up for a man and his children and other people, it is a whole full-time job and you don't get time for yourself. And that's why women get burnt out. And you're no longer happy in your relationship because you're coming home and a man is sitting on the couch because he's tired from work and you're making sure you're catering to him.
So what? I
don't understand. Where's the value in that?
Fellas, do not choose a woman who don't want to be a woman.
Are you delusional?
The modern day women, right there. I'm gonna go to work like you. Yeah, you want me to cook, clean. So what? Yes, you're gonna cook, clean, do this and do that. And guess what? He taking the trash out, he fixing the house, he making sure it is. But we have different duties, functions, and responsibilities. My wife don't want my duties. Just because I can see you cook the food and you can't see me clean the gutters, you don't even care about that stuff, but it still need to be done. Men have different responsibilities. So all this, I cook and I clean, and like, yeah, that's part of your function. But when your tire is flat, my function is to make sure you have a new tire. Your car need an oil change. It's my job to make sure these people ain't ripping you off. We have different duties and functions and responsibilities. And if you don't love your duty, your function, your responsibility, you're not fit to be a wife, period.
Period. And that's why you have to be more careful when you're choosing your mates. She went off. She had a valid point, but he did too. He came back. Gender roles. We touched up on that. Even though we want to eliminate the gender roles, there is certain gender roles. I used to be the main cook in the family. Now the wife is the main cook. So we get in there and do what we need to do when we need to do it. I used to be the one who mowed the yard. she had started mowing the yard as a way of clearing her mind, listening to her music, getting out there. So we swap up roles. We know how, so that means if one of us was down bad, the other one know how to kick in. So her saying that she didn't want to work and then have to come home, prepare the meal. If she's a woman in her feminine and she loves that man, I don't see the problem. Because when that yard need mowing, that oil needs changing, that AC unit acting up in the car, it's my job to make sure that everything's done. It ain't no she go out there and change the tire if the tire get on flat. So I disagree with what she was saying, and he had a valid point. Men and women do different things. So if it's his job to make sure the tire is changed, the oil's done, the gutters are clean, the house is sprayed or whatever that needs to be done on a man tip, go up in the attic and get things done in the attic, pay when the air conditioner unit is acting up outside. Those are his jobs on top of working. So if she's working and she come home, because my mom them did, they worked and they prepared the food. But every now and then, if she had a long day, Pops had no problem getting in that kitchen and making sure something was made. But Mom would prepare it. If she knows she got a long day, she'll prepare that shit that night before she go to work. But that's just the difference in what we had back then and what's now. And welcome to the show is Austin. What's happening, Austin? What it is, what it do, man? How you been doing?
Hey, what's going on with it?
Yeah, what's going on with you? Usually you be a little active. You feeling okay today, man? You had me a little worried. I was going to hit you up tomorrow if I hadn't heard from you tonight. You were moving a little different today. This week.
No, baby girl she been having some issues this week.
Oh, okay.
So, but she's straight.
Okay, yeah, I was going. Yeah, you was gonna get that early morning text or phone call in the morning if I hadn't seen you tonight. But I know this is a topic that we both can educate them on, because your method and my method and then overall methods are different, and they actually work, besides saying the 50-50. You get what I'm saying? But
right,
a lot of the millennials and under, man, they sold on that 50-50. But when you catch that early millennial and that Generation X that's trying to blend in with what's going on now, because it's so many single, it's so many that were married and divorced, and they're trying to get back to find love and things again, and they're getting out here and they're finding out that the men are not like what they grew up seeing. You get what I'm saying? They're not like their dad that was in the household, their granddad, or even their dad that wasn't in the household that still would take care of the mama's household. The men were just, I call them, they want to say simps. They wasn't really a simp. They just like they'll break up with the family that they've been with for 20 years and still make sure some of the bills are paid, and I didn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Coming up, I'm like, hey, when it's over, it's over. I don't care if I did 100 years over there, it's over, it's over. But Pops would still pay the damn bills, and until he knows another man, until she try to move another man in or whatever. And I'm like, dude, this is, but they were also married. So maybe that's part of not paying alimony. I'll take care of, we don't know what was said behind doors. So I'm gonna now that I'm thinking, I'm gonna leave that one alone. But outside looking in, it just looked like the relationship was over and he still was paying bills for years at a house that he didn't stay in no more.
Yeah, that couldn't have been me. When I'm done, I'm
That's a
done.
wrap. Me too. Me too. Like I say, I did the 3-month thing because my child was still over there. Then I went to court and won the child. But I did 3 months. And it wasn't all the bills. It was basically, I think I did electric and cable. That was it. I didn't pay no rent or none of that. I just did electric and cable because I knew he was gonna watch TV and he needed to be comfortable in the house. That was it.
Right.
So
Well,
yeah.
I mean, you did what you had to do. You did
Yeah.
the right
I
thing.
did that for 3
You stepped
months.
up. Yeah,
Stepped up
that's
for
all
3
right.
months. Yeah. So, but it's what's getting me with the new generation is these guys will literally sit back and let a woman take care of them. And I get it. I understand. Being in Oakland, I got it. You know what I'm saying? And pimping ain't dead. I quick to say pimping ain't dead. Niggas just scared. But on the same note, I can't have no woman in control of. I never know when she get in her mood or somebody tell her lie out there on the street and say they saw me talking to Sharon at the grocery store, and she knows Sharon was crushing on me, and all I did was I was on my way out and Sharon was walking behind me, and somebody said they seen me and Sharon walking out the store together. Then when I come back, all my clothes were sitting outside. I can't do that, bro. I can't let no woman take care of me, man. You know what I'm saying? And I just can't. And if I don't know, like I say, I still have to have my own place or something. I don't know, but these new cats, they different. They'll lay down, let a woman take care of them. Then they stuff packed up and they gone, or they come home and somebody else in the bedroom locked up with the door lock. And I can't do that. It ain't no respect. So to me, the 50-52 gives the man less respect if you with the wrong woman. If you're with
Well,
the wrong woman. And finding the
yeah,
right woman is rare. Go ahead.
like I've always said, you have to do what's best for you.
And I
And
started to open up the show saying that at the end of the day, do what's best for you. I'm
yeah,
just going to my opinion on what I'm not going to settle for being best for me.
that I mean that doesn't work for me. It's never worked for me. You know, the only time it works when I already know. Well, I mean, and too many people I didn't put my money with anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my past relationships, except for the last marriage and this one, um, my money has always been separate because I always knew that there was a possibility
Mm-hmm.
that we weren't gonna last. So I played it safe and kept different accounts. But in this last one, I wasn't for sure what was gonna happen. It just happened that it didn't last, but we were okay. We split our money,
So
and
she didn't because I know a situation where when the relationship got bad, the woman took all the money out the account and basically closed the account.
yeah, I mean that has happened. I've heard about that happening. It didn't happen to me. So
Mm.
I mean, so we were cordial about it. um, but I just don't believe
$20,000
in a
in there.
marriage.
How much did you would say was her? How did you determine what was hers? Y'all just split it, or
Well, we
did you
just
say,
we just
"Well,
split
I
it
know
down the
I
middle.
put"?
No, we just split everything down the middle
Oh,
because when we were in a relationship, everything was one, right?
okay.
So, I mean, like I said on the post, we can't be one being separate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everything was one. So it didn't matter if I put in this and she put in that, or she spent
You
this or
put
I
in
spent that.
15. You put in 15,000, and she ended up putting in 5,000. We finna split that down the middle because we agreed that was going to be one.
Yeah, because I mean, and being a, a mature mind, then that's what you do, you know. So
I bet you a
but that's
woman
just
wouldn't
me.
think like that.
They probably wouldn't. But she did. She did because we agreed to do it that way.
Okay.
So, you know, it was what it was. Um, and I know a situation where this young lady, they weren't together. I mean, they weren't living together. They weren't married, but
Mm.
she had access to his account, and something happened, and she could have taken all the money out and did whatever she wanted to do, but she was like, I ain't gonna do that. I'm not gonna be dirty like that. You know what I'm saying? And let him have all his little bread. But it
That's
depends on
rare.
what type of woman you with.
Right. That's rare.
Yeah,
Because
it
when a
depends on
woman
what type
get
of woman you
mad,
with.
and I just go back because we grew up around a lot of women, Lorraine, Rhonda. Women can be very evil by nature. Little girls even evil. That's why they first started making the movies of the little girls being devious, pushing the brothers, and trying to kill this and that. And that. It's a reason. So
Man,
when a
tell me
lot of
about it.
women that you meet that wasn't raised up the right way, I've seen some women do some evil things to good men that were good to them, and you have too. We
Yeah,
both witnessed that.
I mean,
And
and we've seen some we've seen some men do some terrible stuff to women that have been good to them. So it goes both ways,
it goes both
you
ways.
know.
It goes
And
both ways, but you see how
sometimes a
you're
woman
more
get
like
yeah,
a
huh?
mature mind. But a lot of
Yeah.
times when a woman get mad, that's why R. Kelly made the song "When a Woman Fed Up, It Ain't Nothing You Can Do About It." A man get mad, he pissed and he shuts down, but we're logical thinkers at the end of the day.
Some
You
of
can
us.
meet, it's some women out there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of the women that I've seen, they're more revenge, tip for tap. I'm gonna get him back. Whereas a man would be like you said, man, that was what we agreed on. It is what it is. Just didn't work. It's over.
Well,
Woman
I
can
mean,
burn your ass. A lot of
that's
women. That's why they
that.
make the movies. Wait to Excel. She had to burn the damn cow. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what they do. A lot of them.
Well, I mean, again, you have some dudes that are out there pulling B moves. I I heard this dude busting windows out of car.
I
Somebody
ain't,
punched some
yeah,
tires.
that's very rare, dude.
I'm
That's
just
rare.
saying, you
Because what
have
was this?
dudes
That's
these
Jasmine
days.
Sullivan.
You have dudes these days acting like women
Hmm.
were. You have,
Not if you say these days, because we
yeah,
used to see them men get messed over and rained on, and they just sit there and be like, "You ain't gonna do nothing." No, man. She does what she want, man. Let her just go on, get her stuff. She pushing up in his face, and you this and you ain't that. He just standing there, and that's what we see. But
yeah.
these new guys, they knocking them girls out. They like, what's up? What you want to do?
Yeah,
So
I
it's just
mean,
a totally different time that we're living in, and being that we're able to see what we saw coming up and then look at what they are doing and what they're allowing to be done, it's just kind of weird, watching it unfold, you know. But
I agree.
the 50-50 relationship thing, you came up watching men get out there, you know what I'm saying, work their fingers to the bone. Even Michael Jackson, you know what I'm saying, you got me working day and night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And work my fingers to the bone. You know what I'm saying? We seen that. We seen daddy get up, graveyarding it, and then going out there feeding the cows and the horses and everything. Even though mama was the nurse, we mostly seen dad out there busting his ass though.
this is true.
You know, and that's what we saw. Even James, we seen him. You have to wake him up sometime to go and do them 16 hours. You know what I'm saying? With them work boots and that flannel shirt and them dirty jeans. And us seeing that, and I think that's why we never took that route. We never took that route. And we had all the opportunities in the world to work at the mill. Lorraine, I was thinking about this the other day. Lorraine and I did a internship. We were in college. and we got the internship at the mill. And we was getting what, 18, 20 some dollars an hour back then. And that was like you rich, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
that was some money back then.
it was some money. And so we working back there doing that the working, man. That graveyard was killing me, man. I was hiding behind paper rolls at that mill, getting sleep. I was trying to drink coffee, messing my stomach up, putting too much cream in it. I mean, I was popping mini thins on them jobs and then damn near overdosed on them. And that just wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? And so like Roosevelt used to say, I can either dig a ditch, because he used to have us working in the yard a lot. So he said, you're going to either be out here digging a ditch, or you can use your brain and get an education and use your mental. Man, I think after he said that, I stayed on the principal's list at school. It wasn't just because I'm trying to compete, nigga. I ain't want to dig no ditches. And so I stayed on principal's list. That meal and stuff wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Because I watched how dad and them did, and they were never really at home. And so then I seen how working 16 and 18 hours, how them women get lonely and was messing with the broke joker that couldn't rub two niggas together, while this guy out there working, keeping the roof over the head, the car note paid, and the food, groceries in the house. I seen that. And you seen it too.
Yeah.
So I guess, what we see growing up kind of molds how you are as an adult, even though, and like I say, in a lot of your case, and mine too, but a lot of yours, you didn't like what you saw. So you made a 360 to make sure that is not going to be me, period.
180. 180.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 180. You was like, that ain't going to be me. You know what I'm saying? Period. And when you see a situation, no matter how infatuated you thought you may have been with a person, when you see that trait of what you saw growing up, you got out of them relationships, which is why we're able to say, because I did the same thing. We've been in quite a few relationships, which is why we get on here and break them down, because we've dabbled in everything.
Yep. There's some wisdom behind these eyes.
Thank you. And then we were just blessed enough to find our persons in time enough to enjoy that person, to enjoy him.
Right.
But now you stated earlier on the post about the 50-50. You said you and the wife have one account.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys discuss what comes out of that account. Right. And both of you all are fine with what comes out of the account. And it's one account. Okay. So elaborate on how that works. Because I'm mixed on that, because I saw how family members back in the day abused that situation. And I heard the arguments. I seen the hurt. I seen I was getting ready to get this for us, but you took it and bought purses and shoes. And I understand you have to have a responsible person to step into that type of situation with. But from me seeing that, I don't even want to risk it. You get what I'm saying? But go ahead and elaborate.
I mean, my wife, she doesn't, I can't say she doesn't spend a lot of money, right? She spends a lot of money, but it's necessary spending. It's not frivolous spending. So if she's going to get anything elaborate, then I'm normally buying her a gift. She'll drop a hint that, I want this Gucci brooch or these shoes or Prada, whatever it may be. And so she dropped her little hints, and I end up getting it. So, um, but that's few and far between because she doesn't ask for that stuff all the time. Um, I think she said something about a Gucci belt this weekend, but other than that, she normally doesn't ask for that type of stuff too often. Um, you know, so she doesn't spend on herself like that. Our spending today is mostly on the baby. So our priorities have changed, and she does her pampering, she does her maintenance and her pampering. I'm cool with that because I want her to feel good and look good. So I don't have an issue with that. Um, but if she's going to spend a large amount of money, then there's a discussion. So our limit is as long as everything is paid for, $500. Uh, $500 is the limit that we can spend without having to ask each other. Anything over that was a conversation.
Have you
So
ever had to say, I don't think we need to do this, and she felt like you really need to do it? How do you handle that situation when the money is in there and she worked hard just as hard as you work, and this is something she's been thinking about doing, really wanting to do, and the money is there, so why can't I do it?
I don't think there's been a time that I've said no. I had to say no because, like I
She
said, she's a mindful spender.
Okay.
She shops on. She has her certain things that she doesn't shop on a budget for, but other things she tries to be cost effective with her spending.
And I
So
learned that from my folks. They had money and they just knew how to shop though. You know
right,
what I'm saying? Stuff that I thought, hey, why we not in this and let me put on that. And she like, hey, I can get this and do the same thing. The only thing that she made sure that I had growing up, I had to have name brand shoes and a good name brand top if I wasn't wearing a t-shirt. You know what I'm
right.
saying? We had the polos and the Adidas and and all that. But as far as just regular jeans, we stepped out there with the Calvin Kleins and all that stuff. But we learned that jeans, they really didn't, it really didn't matter what you wore jeans wise because it
Yeah,
was some tight jeans that wasn't name brand, especially the different colors that I wanted. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I got out of that, but my shirt still have to say something. I can't walk around the city tree in a shirt. I can't because I'm DJ Black, and people look at what I actually wear. So I can't walk around in Walmart shoes. Now the boots maybe, you know what I'm saying, but I can't do a tennis shoe, with no name. I can't have Shaqs on because they looking at me and they judge. Especially the youngins, they judge when they see you walk in there and I got on some goddamn New Balance, even though New Balance is what the rich, little white boys or whatever the white men wear. If it ain't Jordans, Adidas, Air Force Ones, you know what I'm saying, they look at you some type of way. But
Yeah.
spending wise, this is what I usually the formula I usually use. And I drew it out. Hold on. This is a cool little formula, and that way nobody's feeling robbed. I feel like with this one, and it has always worked in the past and the future. This has been a pretty cool thing right here. Okay, and being that I'm traditional, So this is drawing up from a traditional mindset. Let's just say the man make $120,000 a year. The wife makes $80,000 a year. So together they are $200,000. You know what I'm saying? A year couple. Okay, which is not a lot, but it's decent. It's better than most. We'll say that. All right, so let's just say monthly he makes about $7,000 after taxes. She makes about $5,000 after tax. Okay, so let's go over the monthly expenses, and I left some of them out. But as traditional man of the house, head of household, I want to take on the bigger bills. That's just what I want to do, and I would feel cheated if I couldn't just do that, unless it's a situation where I had to. You know, like you say, it depends on what situation and what works best. But this is the ideal. Let's just say your mortgage, $2,500 a month. Electric $500, your water bill $60, but that fluctuates. Your car note $550 or $600, but I just tried to keep it as a medium to most. So $550 a month, but really that car note is right at $625, but $550. Then then you got car insurance. Car insurance is really around $300, but I try to keep it a little less in case you just got liability. You got you got comprehensive, but you low, but you got your deductible at $1,000 on collision. So you can kind of get that down $200, $250. Then the telephone, because you got to have a phone, and I'm looking at a household of 4 or 5 maybe, and everything. So $300 for phone, but that phone also probably going to include your internet. So we're going to say AT&T bill overall. Then groceries $500 a month, and I'm still speaking of households of 4, because the average woman going to have at least 2 kids, the most of them. So you add in
$500 a month on groceries.
Yeah, man, that's easy for 2 kids.
I was saying that was light.
Oh, yeah, that's when you don't when you buy a lot of snacks. But yeah, we'll say $500 on groceries, easy. It's really around $800, but I'm trying to keep it in there, not trying to see greedy, because I'm also trying to be conservative here. So then, okay, so your total monthly expenses would be around $4,610. Okay, so like I got on here, the man take on the mortgage, the man take on the electric, because those are the main 2 accessories, and they're big. They're the main 2 necessities, and they're the bigger bills. Okay, you let her get the water bill. Then car note. You gotta have transportation. He want to make sure he's able to take care of the car note. And that's just one car. You ain't looking at 2 cars now. You got 2 car notes. You're looking at $1,200. But we just doing one car note. All right, and then you go to the car insurance. Let her handle the car insurance. Phone. Let her handle the phone. And keep in mind, all the bills that she got, except the car insurance, can fluctuate. So you don't want to put too much of a strain, if you can, you know what I'm saying, maintain it like that on the woman, because you're man of household. Now, my thing is, I still want to be able to cover all of this in the event something happened and she wasn't able to work. You feel what I'm saying? So I look at a lot of people saying that $200,000 a year. Oh man, I can't live off $200,000 a year. It's how you budget your money. It's how you budget your money. And you can jump out there and blow it all, and you can jump out there and getting all this, da 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 da. But if you know how to manage money, and I've been managing money since I was probably 7, 8 years old, and so I know how to spend it. So if you break those bills up like that, she able to just pay $1,060 monthly, but hers fluctuates. So she may end up, around the 1,200, 13, maybe up to 15, because those bills that she got, the water bill can go up, You know what I'm saying? The phone bill be fluctuating. The groceries may have to go up. You know, more companies, somebody come in, stay with us. You know, so but that's her job. She likes to cook, so that's her thing. She don't like me going grocery shopping. She sent me for the stuff she forgot to get. Oh, I forgot to get the bell peppers. Go get the bell pepper. Oh, I need some Lowry's. Go get the Lowry's. You know, she sent me for that, the basil and all that old paprika crap. She sends me to go get that, but she does the grocery shopping. I may be walking in the store with her, but she's picking out. You know, she do the grocery shop. So looking at what she makes compared to what I make, I would take on the bigger bills. She take on the smaller bills, and that way at the end, out of her 5,000 that she had once taxes and everything monthly, after her 5,000, all she spent was 1,060, and all the rest, I don't care what she do with it. And just like me, with my 7,000 a month, and once I pay my 3,350, she shouldn't care what I do with the rest of that. I ain't gotta have no meeting. But when her money gone, it's gone. Don't come to me. Because each one of us got over $3,500 left a month to do whatever we want. So she ain't got no business coming to me. If you gave your mama X amount of dollars, you gave your sister, you trying to plan this trip, and they wanted 1,500 of that, and then you still need an outfit to go here. You need some equipment, decorations to go do a party. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You had over 3,900. I'm gonna say over $3,500 left that month to do whatever you want to do with it. So you shouldn't bother me. Once your bill's paid, if I go out there and throw a party, like I may take my money and get a building. That the rest of my money, I go get a building, pay for some promotion, throw a party. If that joker flop, I ain't running to her crying because I gotta wait till the next pay period before I get some more money. And you can mess over $3,000 in 4 days or less, depending on what you're trying to do. That ain't no money a month. People like, oh man, you got a whole 3,000. Not if I'm trying to invest in something. I got to get the building. The building gonna want 1,500. Then I got to pay for advertisement. You know what I'm saying? Then I got to pay security. Because if that thing flop, all that's on me. I can't say, hey man, did nobody come out? Them 3 or 4 security guards gonna still want their $25 an hour, and they done been there 4 hours. And then if I try to send them home early, them bastards like, hey, you said 4 hours, not 3. But that's what kind of works with us, and that way it's no strain on no one person. And like I say, the one bank account is cool. That thing too, because out of that, I would take, before I fell in love with this formula, my thing was we put X amount of dollars in one account, and then we know that that's the bill account. You know, and so at any given time, you just go in there and pay the bill. When you see you go to the mailbox or you get the email, the bill is due, go in there and pay it. Just let me know so we won't be double paying. You know, because I may have in my mind when I get up in the morning, I'm gonna go ahead and pay the electric. But if she went by the mailbox and seen it, she'll sit in the car and go ahead and pay everything before she come in the house. So I have double paid before. So now when she does that, she let me know, hey, I went ahead and paid the electric, so you don't have to do that. I'm like, okay. So that's that 100. You see it need to be done, you pay it. But on the same note, if I know what I'm assigned, that works, like you say, better for me. Whatever works best for your household. And I just like knowing that I'm gonna pay my bill. Because like I said, I just was with a couple who they go half on everything. And once one of them pay their half, they're done. If the other one's short, that's not my fault. And when I saw that, man, that was like and they're married. how you not take control and responsibility of that, man? That's not a man. But that's not a man. And I haven't spoken to them on that, how I feel personally about that yet. I chose to stay out of it because I'm totally against it. But you chose to be in that situation. So now it's thoughts of, I don't have nobody who got my back. And that's what a relationship really is supposed to be about. Who got your back? Who there for you? You know, if something was to happen, if you were to lose your job today, will she have your back, or will she be like, he ain't working? I'm the one who been paying all these bills for 3 months. I'm waiting on him to find a job, girl. He need to find him a job because I've been putting these bills for 3 months. Going on 4. And you didn't heard it, you didn't seen it. Some women are like that. We don't deal with them, but we know people close to us that do. And so and it's hard out here. But like I said on the previous podcast, and several others, I want to be able to take care of everything. And I'm pretty sure that's your mindset too, because we're so independent. But the way the economy is, you got hardworking women. Some women making more than men, and it'll be crazy, ludicrous for us to get out there and work our fingers to the bone, and they making just as much or more, and you the only one paying the damn bills in the house. Like somebody else who was on the podcast tried to say. One time we got into a huge argument, and I was trying to let him know, if that woman's working, man, and she wants to contribute, no, that's her money. It's her money. If she want to take it and get her nails done, do whatever, that's her money. No. If you working, you gonna contribute. You should contribute. Let me tone it down a bit. If you working, you should want to contribute to take the strain off of your mate, whether it's man or woman. Because shit happens, you know.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing though. So just looking at the median household income for the state of Georgia, it's about $74,000 a year. So that's where the struggle comes in. Right? Because you don't have money like that. One person making 120, another person making 80. You're not even making, you don't even have one person making, 70 and another one making 80. You don't have that. So, what was the actual number for median household income? 74,298.
Multiply that by 2.
So divide that by 2. That's what, 37.
I can multiply it by 2.
Why you multiply it by 2?
You say 7,000?
No, 74,298.
Oh, okay.
So dividing it by 2. So you got both. I mean, if they're making equal, then you have them making about $37,000 each. So how do you juggle that?
Easy.
And staying
Easy.
within your.
It is, like I say, it really depends on your spending habit and what you own and how much money you have going out.
And what,
like I own my vehicle. I own them. Only thing we pay is mortgage, really, and electric, things like that. So it's not a lot that we owe. You know what I'm saying? That's out. The debt, the debt to income ratio is 0 because I don't have anything going out. I pay my credit cards here and there, so I could survive off of what'd you say, 74,000 a year. I mean, 200,000 a year. I can survive off 200,000 a year. I could.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people can survive off of $200,000 a year, but we're talking about the people that are making together as a household making
30.
74,000, yeah, making $74,000 a year. They're both making 30 some thousand dollars,
Oh, okay. Now
$37,000.
that could be kind of rough, but the 200,000 a year amongst two people, and you have an extra 5,000 a month just to burn up if you want to. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, for the people that are able to do that, yeah, that is pretty cool. But
But
the
okay,
median, if
you put it more on an average, not a. You put it more on a more average
yeah,
scale.
yeah, on the
The
average, what
normal,
the yeah.
yeah.
So if you
Okay, I see where you're
put
coming from.
everybody in the pot,
The $40,000 a year, $50,000 a year people.
right?
Okay,
So so now
there's
you go
probably
back,
100,000 max amongst the two.
yeah, if they're doing 50 each, but again, this is saying that they're not even at 50, they're not even at 75, right? So they're not even at 75,000 together. And then them have then and then if they have kids, then how those expenses come in if they have childcare and things of that nature. That's pulling
Yeah,
away from that. That's
because
pulling away from that $37,000 that each one of them makes. So then they have to make the determination on, all right, so do we do 50-50? All right, but you wanted this car, so your car note is $500 a month. I got this car, my car note is $250 a month. So
right, they have to come to the table a little bit.
yeah, so then that's when the arguments and
Okay,
issues start to happen because
I see
you
where you're
know,
going.
yeah, you taking more money out here.
Mhm.
I'm being modest, and you're trying to be extravagant.
Right.
So you're
And
taking more
I've
money out of
seen
the
that.
household. Yeah,
I've
so you're
seen
trying to
that.
take more money out of the household. So there, when you have unequal minds,
Yeah,
then that's where you're gonna start having issues.
but Austin, majority of the women out here, the modern day women, and you know, they don't they've been out there, they're making their own money. They don't want you to tell them what to do. You lucked up. I lucked up because our women have been there, done. They know what they want, whether they've been there, done that or not. They know what they want, and they know what it takes to achieve. But the average woman that had been out there that was trained, I don't need no man. I'm gonna get out here. I've been working since I was 16 years old. Whether they started at Sonic and now they at the top of corporate, they've been out there to get. I'm not going to sit here and go through what my mama went through, and that's that mindset. They were trained and brought up and raised like that. So when you say that coming in there with that same mind frame, then a lot of women walk in there with that mind frame, but when they come out, I did this. He doing that. Yeah, girl, he the one jumped up and bought uh that Audi. When that I ain't see nothing wrong with the Escalade. He went and got the Audi SUV. You know, so, and then when you get it, you're gonna pay for it. And I hear that so much. I
Well,
mean, you know, and even I'm sure every blue moon when we look at something, we like, well, our women may mumble, well, you know, that if that's what you want, you know what I'm saying? If that's what
well,
you want, just look at that
let,
note.
let me go back. Let me go back because there is something that came up a couple of weekends ago. So my wife wanted uh, a new vehicle, right? So this vehicle was gonna be like 70 some thousand dollars. Um, and the note was going to be 12 to $1,300 a month, right? So and then I got a wild hair at my butt and I was like, you know what? I want a new one too. You know
That's
what
all
I'm
the
saying?
time. That's you all the fucking time. But go ahead. I was
I was
waiting
like,
on where you fit in it. Go ahead.
yeah, I was like, I want one too. I said, you know what? I'll take the lower costing vehicle, which was still around 60,000, and hers was like 70,000. So, but I was like, you know what? Why are we gonna put this amount of money out right now? We're trying to do
Boy,
some
you didn't
things.
grew up.
Yeah, we're
You
trying to
didn't
do some things financially.
you didn't
So
freaking grew up. That child that grew you up, boy. That's all you need. Because the old you didn't give a damn whether you had to take off 3 more jobs. You finna get that car. You the car man.
yeah, well, I mean, I'm not gonna work more than one job. I just want a job that'll pay me like I'm getting three, like I got three. But
But you gonna get that car, boy. You the car man, not the
yeah,
main. You the car man. And then I
yep.
was like, and you ain't got no right. I thought you was gonna say you told her she didn't need to get it. You have no right because you the car man. And so if she wanted to get a nice fancy car, she deserved it because she with the car man. Now,
Well, I mean, you know, we both drive. We both drive some decent vehicles. Some okay, but um, and she like it. She likes expensive cars, and I like expensive cars.
oh, okay. So that's a fetish for both of y'all. Okay.
Yeah. So, but what we said, we had a discussion after our impulse buying went down, and we came back and we had a discussion because we had the dealership all set up and they sending pictures of the vehicles and blase blase, right? Um, so we said, all right, let's wait a minute, let's think about this. So um, we decided that we didn't need to spend that much money right now. Our debt to income ratio is very low. So we was like, why put that
Why
addition?
increase it?
Yeah, why put that additional debt in the mix?
Right.
Let's give it about another 6 months to a year, see what the rates are gonna do on vehicles because it is kind of steep right now. So we was like, okay, we'll just stick with what we got
Now
for
that's
this
me.
moment.
And that's how mine do because I've been eyeing this vehicle for a minute, and every time I'm ready to get it because everything's going good, everything's great, she'll say, "We don't need a note." But don't get me wrong, having a nice amount sitting in the bank and you're able to jump up and take a trip whenever you want to, fly around, do whatever, get the kids, whatever, that's cool. But it comes a time where you know that you'll still be able to do what you're trying to do. It may not be as much in there because, like you say, you're creating debt, and I hadn't had debt in a minute. But you get comfortable with not having a car note. You get comfortable with that. And then I'm not big on fancy vehicles or whatever anyway. I just want something nice that I like. Because a lot of the fancy vehicles, I don't like the dynamics. I don't like the shape. I don't want an electric car right now because I travel. When we travel, we're driving 8+ hours, stopping and charging
Charting
and
up.
having to sit there. I don't want that. So being that I'm not so big on, I just want something nice. And that's how my parents are. They always kept nice vehicles. We didn't have to be in the Audis and all that, but we're going to be in a nice top of the line, whatever we're in. So I'm eyeing this vehicle, SUV. And once I got my first SUV, you know, my Durango, I don't want no car. I
Right.
never wanted a car because plus I DJ, so that I'm able to let the seats down, throw my speakers and everything in there, and I'm going. I turn up, get through, put my stuff. So I can't do a car, even though it's some nice cars out there that I see that I like. Man, I really like them. I like the. And after seeing the was that the BMW that caught on fire? I ain't really feeling the BMWs like talking about, but I like that doggone, man. My vehicle right now, man, is the and I know we off topic, but man, you gotta be talking about a car. I ain't never been no car man. But I like that goddamn the Tesla Y. I like the Tesla that SUV, bro. That's the vehicle, man. I mean, but I don't want the charging thing, but I love the design. So I'm waiting on someone to make that design that's not electric. Man, I know it's gonna be hard, but I'm somebody gonna do it. Whether it's gonna be Toyota, somebody gonna do it. Lexus. I just don't want an electric car.
Well, my thing was, I want this electric Porsche. So
I mean, you don't travel a lot, like driving anyway, no
right,
more.
right.
So that'll be good for you.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. We would get her a gas vehicle because, most if we take a trip, then she has the bigger vehicle
Right,
anyway,
right.
like the
Okay.
SUV. And
Now,
then
now the wife said that. She said she thinking on like what you were saying. If we were gonna do that, my vehicle would be around, town 200 miles one way, 200 miles back. But we have a gas car to go, because us leaving here going to Louisiana, man, is 8 hours.
all right.
And then we have to go to New Orleans a lot, and then I'm getting ready to have to go to New York. So it's like but in New York I probably wouldn't drive nowhere. I want to fly. You get what I'm saying? And get an Uber because they're gonna rob you. By the time I get back, the vehicle gonna be, the vehicle gonna be gone. The tires gonna be laying on the ground. So, but yeah, we drive a little too much for an electric car. But if we were to be around town, like you doing, now you can get away with it because you really don't. Because I've been trying to get you to come this way forever. So you blame the baby. The baby old enough now to meet, and you ain't made it yet. So you ain't finna drive. And it's like what, 12 hours from there to here?
Yeah, we ain't doing no drive. We ain't gonna drive like that. I'll jump on Delta or Southwest or something. But
so y'all would drive. So you would get the baby a ticket.
Either a ticket or we'll do like on Southwest, you can just do a lap for them, so you don't have to pay for a ticket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
she's. See, I don't fly Southwest. I'm American.
Yeah.
Okay. But they don't do that in America. But yeah. So yeah, you can get away with that. But that's my vehicle there. But I know I'm gonna want to drive it though, bro, because it has the room. So so that's what we're at. But she always, no, we don't need to get that. No. But one day she gonna come home. And I've been trying not to do it. She gonna come home and see that thing sitting in the garage. But I'm like, baby, I had to get it. But like you say, the prices are up now. But I got a tip that the 2022s, and you just update the chip, and they look the same, they do the same. So I don't really have to get it 2025 or 2024. So I was talking with someone because they used to lease the Teslas. They don't lease them anymore. And so now the ones that were leased that has maybe 20,000, 25,000, whatever miles on them, they're sold and they're cheaper now. So that's what I was thinking about. But like you say, the debt to income ratio, I have none. Only thing I just need to pay my credit cards down, and that's at my leisure. Once I pay my credit cards down, I'm in an 800 credit score. So that's why I say we're gonna I want to look into holding, financial things and going over the credit scores and let them know different ways they can get it done. I want to do that too, even if your knowledge, my knowledge, and I want to get Lucas on here, for a show, and we advertise that particular show for about 3 weeks, and then we do it the first of the month. You know what I'm saying? I probably want to do it around probably November, because we're into the holiday spirit around that time. So teach people how to get out of debt, or maybe October, first week of October, first Wednesday in October. But it's definitely something that can be discussed, and it's educational and it's helpful. And it's plenty of ways to clear that credit and get that debt to income ratio down.
Yep. Well, you know, we've been there, done that,
Been there.
done it the hard way, and
Yeah.
you know, figure
And
out
so,
other
and I'm
ways.
gonna
Other
give
ways
out
to do it.
numbers of people that they can call too. You know what I'm saying, and get a kickback. But yeah, that's one thing we're gonna definitely look into. But back to the topic at hand. Let's get this out of the way. It's going on 11. You know, we get out of here at 11. So let's run these videos right quick. Now, I like what this guy is saying. Okay, let's go through her first. Let's go. Let me see, man. There's so many. Let's go through what she's saying. Hold on.
50-50 is not about the money. It's more so like the man is the provider as far as the mortgage, the big bills, and I might buy all the groceries. I am in TJ Maxxon, you know what I'm saying, making this house look like a home. That's my 50% that I bring, because as a man, you can't really bring what I bring. You can't make this house a home like I can. We out of deodorant and toothpaste, mess around with you. I got everything else covered. You covered the big things, and I'll be up under that umbrella.
And that's similar to the formula that I showed. But when you've been a single parent, which I've been forever, you do have toothpaste. You do have the tissue.
That's what I was going to say.
So I don't need that. so my thing with the woman, and I cook, or so my thing, as I'm more of I just need your femininity around the house. That's what I need. I don't, I can do all that, you know what I'm saying, myself, I'm just saying. So, but I feel what's come from. That's kind of like me though. I want to take on the larger, since you just gotta work and gotta contribute, you could take on the smaller, and your money is your money. So when it's like you say, when it's time for her to get the hair, nails, and petty manis and all that, you got your money to do that. But if you spent your money on decorations, on decor, and getting the kids clothes and things you felt like you wanted to do for the kids to show appreciation because they got good grades on a report card, and you run out of money that month, that's on you. I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? And that's me, because I make sure you have more than enough money left out of your monthly check from paying bills to do what you need to do. So I don't expect you coming to me. And that's my mindset. Sorry. You shouldn't have done that. Oh, well, and I just spent that on that, and I need to get this. Gotta wait till next month when you get paid again. Well, you already paid that, so your next check you can get that. So, hey, you got more than enough, man. And if I'm sitting back here doing without sacrificing, because I could have this, that. But no. No, sir. Let's see what he said.
I don't think a woman should ever marry a man that does not have a mind to 100% provide for her. If you sit down and you have a conversation with a man as a woman, and he's sitting there, he's bringing up 50-50, I want you to come up with 50, I'm gonna come up with, he's not a masculine man. If I were a woman, I would dismiss any man that came up with a conversation about 50-50, because he's lacking somewhere in terms of his masculinity.
Okay, now, my view of that, what he just said, I feel where he's coming from to a degree. And like he said, if he comes up to you initiating the 50-50. Now, once you're in a relationship, you're married, you decide to live together, you let your place go or she let her place go, and y'all move in together, and you know this is your person. And then y'all talk the 50-50 talk because of things that you're trying to get. Let's just say you want that vehicle, she want that vehicle, and y'all understand that in order for us to have that vehicle, it's going to cost this amount from you and this amount from me, and we just go half on this and we'll split this. That's different because you're married. But like he said, but if you're talking with a man and his initial idea is, let's go 50-50. But like, we understand the situation, but I'd rather her come in and say, I can help.
Well, let's flip it, because like you said, women are making money now. What if she's making more money than him?
I mean, if you're married, that's cool. It's going to be hard walking into a relationship, walking into that relationship. It depends on like the woman you approach, of course. But we're going to just remove the 15% of the women that think different. Okay? Let's keep it real. 85% of the women you're going to meet that's breadwinners, that's on their own, that got their shit together, that's making their money, that's been doing it for 20 years. She can pick who she wants. And she's going to be a little controlling. Even my brother was trying to date a woman who was in a financial, in a good financial state. And they got into it because she didn't want him telling him which way to go to get to some place that they were trying to get to. And because she wasn't used to a man saying nothing to her because she'd been so independent. So that's what you're going to run into with the woman that's the breadwinner. 85%. Now you got your little 15%, maybe 20, a low 20, but majority of them, and I see it all the time on social media. Boy, they making their own money. They partying. They well, when I say partying, they going on the cruises. They they living their best life, single, and then they wondering why they're not in a relationship. Nice looking, but they're single, and it's that mindset. And it's not really their fault per se, but a lot of them came out of the single mother households who taught them don't depend on a man because dad walked out. So I don't blame them. It's the man's, men played a big part in what we're seeing played out today. At the end of the day, we're a big part. Men are a big part of that.
Yeah, now there's also this thing called proportionate spending, where you look at your income and their income, and you say, okay, well, I make this amount, so I'm gonna pay, and you make this amount, so where the difference is, I'm gonna pay 60% of the bills. And you're gonna take care of the rest, the 40%.
Yeah.
So
that was my formula. With in mind that if one of the other falls short, the other one kicks in. That's how that works. In the event something happens, you know what I'm saying? You may be off work, surgery, whatever. You got to leave town, whatever. And that person's supposed to be able to step in and take your slack. Peep this man out. This is similar to what you just said.
Relationships are not 50-50. Relationships are whatever I have and whatever you got. And we'll meet somewhere in the middle. So sometimes you got 10, I'll bring 90. Sometimes you got 70, I'll bring 30. But whatever you don't have, I'll pick up the slack. That's what a relationship is. It is not 50-50. I don't always have 50% to bring. Sometimes I got to bring 100 because you might be at 0. And if you had a 0, I'm going to pick you up and I'm going to cover you in my secret place. If there's one thing I know how to do, I know how to cover my friends. I will cover my friends to the end. I will cover my friends, and I won't let you shoot them. I won't let you kill them. I'll see them do wrong. I'll tell them you did wrong and cover them in front of you and tell them they did nothing wrong. Oh, somebody ought to shout, God, send me somebody who really got my back and who won't stab me in it. Send me somebody, God.
So that's kind of like the 100-100. They got your back, and I'm more comfortable with that because I want to be able, as the man, as so-called head of the household, and what I've seen growing up. That's just how I was raised. I want to be able to, if push came to shove, I can take care of it. But I understand her saying she don't want me taking care of everything, and she wants to pull her weight. I understand that. But on the same note, if you can't pull your weight, I'm good. Because at any given time, men can too, but any given time, your woman can get sick. They got more things going on with bodies. They anything can happen. So I want to just be that one who I can handle this. Now peep her out.
As a woman, you're still basically wanting to go 50-50. Why is that? I think part of that is because it's ingrained in us to not need someone. It's also ingrained in us to be independent. It's ingrained in us to be self-sufficient on every level, and to always prove a point of I'm not trying to use you. So I'm always trying to show up too, but that's because we're constantly told if somebody's constantly giving to us, you gonna come across, you a gold digger. You asking to pay for dinner right now, she a gold digger, she ain't about to use my money, it's dinner. It's $55. You feel me? So I think a lot of that is this foundation of what we've been taught we have to show up as.
I do agree with that. I think that there also is a small percentage of women who enjoy paying 50-50, right? And they don't feel like they were conditioned to do it or anything like that.
And even the millionaires going through it.
This 50-50 in our household is, first of all, let's say I have 20 to 50 responsibilities. Right. And my wife have 20 to 50 responsibilities. And when I say that, that means she has a mother, she has her sisters, she has her dad, she has a lot of things that she's responsible for. Right. You know what she does? Right. She pays 100% of that. Right. You know what I do? I pay 100% of my life. When our life come together, my wife is a working actress who spends time away from the family to go work, do our job. Build. Right. We decided together, because I think I said one time we was in Miami, I said something about it being my house that I paid for. My wife looked at me, she was like, you will never say that to me again when it's something that we share. And so my wife was like, that when we moved to LA, I got half on it. You will never say my house again. Wow. She said, you can say that in the arena. And so in our life, our home, 50-50, we purchased it together. Right. Our daughter, anything that goes on with our daughter, 50-50, we share it together. Right. Now, it's some things I pick up versus some things she pick up, but she does something, I do something. Right. If we take a yacht trip, we could do it 50-50, or I can do it myself. But my wife is a working woman. Right. She's a boss and an independent woman in her own life. Right. She's like, I'm gonna put, you know what, that little 200 that you was gonna spend on this, I'm gonna throw something else on there and we're gonna go on a bigger trip. We're gonna ball out. Like, this is my wife. Right. Right? Like, I don't know about y'all, but I like having a wife that's like, that's cool, you can do that. The house we live in, thank God, in Hidden Hills, nice house. Right. Whatever millions. We could have had a nice house on my 50% too. Right. It'd have been nice. Right. She was like, no, let me put something else on and let us live a little different. Oh, yeah, they got a little bigger. So we probably share 3 things in our life that we 50-50 on. Right. Everything else, I'm 1,000%, and she's 1,000%.
And see, that's a problem. A lot of people don't see it like that. You know, yeah, I can cover it by myself, but let me sprinkle something else on there so we can go better.
And that's what mine do. Because I'm gonna put together something nice, but then she'll come and wonder, well, why not just do that? And hers have the valet included and the meals, and I'm like, but I feel it, But yeah, and then people, she said.
It's weird to say I'm head of household because in this household, we split everything 50-50. But in the other households that each of us have to support, it puts there's always this like gorilla on your back that it is like, you better work, bitch. You better work. You gonna sleep in? Somebody might not eat. Come on, you gotta work. And it's hard.
And these are your millionaires.
Multi-millionaires.
It's hard. You know, she say it's hard. But I just feel like they need a financial advisor. Shit, fuck that.
Why shouldn't a woman go 50% with a man?
Because the man, they want that 100% respect, but you're doing 50-50. You can't get 100% respect or that title of, the man of the household when your woman is doing 50%. What are you providing? Nothing. So when people talk about 50%, they talk about, 50% of the bills. They're not talking about the children. Are you going to go 50-50 with me taking care of the children, changing diapers, cooking dinner? So I have to be 100% over here and then 50% on the bills. That's like 150 and you only have 50%. So I am going over you. And no, that's not fair. So no, women should not pay 50% of the bills because we do so much other stuff.
Is she delusional or what?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she out there. Out there.
And for the men that try to manipulate and say, well, that's why you gonna be single, that's why you gonna be alone, you ain't married, you this and that. First of all, that is not an insult, because the men that are out here now, it is not a flex to be in a relationship and be married to any of these men with the mindset that they have now. The men in this generation do not feel obligated or a sense of responsibility towards the women that they deal with. They want to be in a roommate situation, but get head of the household privileges and respect. It don't work that way. If you need a woman's half to be able to sustain that household, then you are a roommate. You are not head of household. If you cannot 100% pay all of those bills, then you need to downgrade into a house or a lifestyle that you can 100% control. You all are out here trying to make it seem like we losing out.
She angry, ain't she? And see, and that's what's going on. Why they're saying it's not working. The women, that's why we're seeing these couples living together and a woman disrespecting the man that we talked about, like in public, in Walmart, in Kroger. We're seeing that because that if you dig down and do the finances, either she makes more and paying the more higher bills than him, or he's in between jobs or something like that. It's something about a woman, a lot of women, they lose respect for their man. And that was proof right there. I didn't make that shit up. That woman, and a couple of them said it, you can't be going half and want to be man of the household, give respect. It don't work like that. And a lot of them think like that today. A lot of them think. That's why it's no respect. That's why you like, man, ain't nobody gonna never talk to me. That's how the modern day women are talking to their men, because they are now what, like you say so many times, women have more opportunities than ever before. They're making more than men. They're doing this. They got better jobs than men. You say it every day, and that's how they're treating the men that's in their lives every day. We ain't making this up. We ain't making it up.
I don't mind going 50-50 with no man. But a man got to understand, as long as you got me going 50-50 and I'm a mother, please do not expect 100% woman or 100% submission from me. I don't have time. When I get off work, I have to pour into my children. So therefore, no, we might not eat a home cooked meal every day. This house might not be cleaned every day. No, I might not be able to keep up with the grocery shopping, the organizing, the household product shopping. We may run out of toilet tissue because I had to work a 12-hour shift yesterday and I forgot to stop and get something. But I got your half of the rent money though. Nah, baby, I can't suck no dick tonight. I'm tired. Work kicked my ass. Then I had to make sure that I got the kids situated, got them for bed, got them ready for school the next day. Now it's time for me to go to bed because I got to get up in the morning to go work again because you need half of the bill money. Please do not expect me to be 100% woman if you got me being 50% man, Sugarfoot. I ain't got no problem with it, but you might. You want to go 50-50? Be prepared to go 50-50 on everything. I don't feel like doing the dishes. You got to do them today. I'll do them tomorrow, sugar. You gave me the option to say no.
Those are the problems that 50-50 are bringing up. So unless you have a level-headed woman that we were blessed, and I'm sure we thank God daily that we don't go through what they're going through, bro. But that's what they're going through, man. And I don't know if I would be willing to even jump back out here, bro. And I see why you went back to what you knew. Because at first I was like, he's going back, But man, we'll catch the case.
No. On the cool, I met some women that had. I had to vet my women. I had to vet my women.
I don't know that.
And I met some that didn't think like that, and they made their own.
They had to be 45 plus, my brother.
They were in the
45
late 30s, early 40s. So
that's hard to believe.
Yeah, I met this one chick. She was the owner of her own software company, and she ended up selling it, ended up getting multi-millions for it, and she remained the CEO of the company. So she was still making money.
But I'm saying, how was her attitude? Real nigga shit.
And that's what I'm saying. She was cool. She was real cool.
Okay, but it didn't work out.
But because she wasn't my person, we didn't have problems or issues with our conversation and all those things. She was cool. She just wasn't my person. So she had no issues with spending whatever money. She didn't have an issue with the money that I spent. So, and she didn't flaunt it like
She
that.
didn't have an issue with the money you made, and she was making what she was making.
No, she didn't have an issue with that. I mean, I was with her when she went and ordered her Tesla and paid cash for it.
Okay, now, because I know you, and I know we lie, but you're a very competitive person.
Right.
So when you seen what she was making, her paying, buying a Tesla with cash, your head wondering, man, I got to get my shit together. I know you, even though you get on here and you shine a little bit, but real nigga shit, when she was doing that, honestly, how did you feel?
I was like, dude, I got my head started thinking, calculating. I was like, I may not be able to get to the millions that she got, but let me see how I can get into some high 100,000s some kind of way, So yeah, I started thinking, my mind started going, and I started trying to figure out what I had to do.
Then that probably played a little bit too. I mean, or why she ended up not really being your person.
No, not really.
Because we never know. And like I say, we've been with people and just around people in general that'll flip on you in a dime. And
no, I'll tell you what broke us apart. I get bored really quick. When a person becomes really complacent, I get bored. And that's what happened. I got bored with the situation.
now I can feel you on that because I dipped out on situations where I was super bored and everybody was like, man, you could have I'm like, man, I was bored to death, bro.
And like I said, I don't care about how much money the person makes. They make more than me, less than me, whatever, because I'm whole already. I don't need somebody to make me whole.
And that's my that's my spiel. I'm gonna make sure I'm comfortable with self, and I could care less whatever you give. But if we split up, I know I'm still gonna be able to live the life I want to live, and that's how I live. You get what I'm saying? Not that you expect anything, but at the end of the day, you have to hope for the best but prepare for the worst. So yeah, that's where I am. So the 50-50, if that works for you, but as you see, they're saying it's not working. The man still want to be man in the house. Women feel like they don't have to respect them because they're paying they're paying their way. It comes to a roommate situation, and you've had roommates where you guys met bills, and you could never get in a relationship with them because y'all meeting bills. You know, so that's women are looking at that as a roommate situation. When you, especially if you walk into that relationship expecting 50-50. And my thing is, if we decide to get together, let it be you go and find a spot, and then she finds a spot, and then you say. But if you walking in there, okay, what we gonna do? How much you make? What's on your check? Okay, well, I make such, then we get together, and then we can get this. I don't feel like that type of discussion. Know what they make, but you going in there saying, let's do 50-50. I'm kind of like the guy who said you're not in your full masculine. You're not into your man yet. Because even though the situation you have, the situation I have, the intent, that wasn't the main focus. The focus was we find what we find, we're gonna get in here. In your mind, you like, I'm gonna be able to take care of this. Her mind, like, we gonna be able to take care of this. But you made sure whatever you pick, if something were to happen, you good to go. You get what I'm saying? We good to go. And then if she want to add more to that, she can add more to that. You didn't say, well, we're gonna stay in this little shack. And then, but if you can go 50 and you go 50, it had to be a conversation. Plus, that's the wife, so you really can't. But you wouldn't step to any woman and say, "Well, we living on the east side, but we can move to the north side if we go 50-50 on this place."
If I'm not married,
Right.
and if it's just a relationship, because that relationship can go either way.
Mhm.
Hell, I mean, it's already 50-50. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not married to you, then you don't have an obligation to me and the things that we accumulate.
Right. There you go.
So
Yeah.
you can leave at any point in time, and that would take, I mean, I don't know what you'd be able to take, nothing really, because you're in a relationship. So, but so whatever you pay for, that's yours. Whatever I pay for, I'm gonna pay for, that's mine. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
Yeah.
gonna go have with you on your car note because I'm not on that car with you. I'm not obligated to pay that
Dude,
car for you.
but you do know guys who have to chip in once they move in with her, right?
Yeah, I
Because
mean, I've
even the other co-host was saying once, that she was expecting him to help
but
with the car note because
but
she would take him to work sometime or he'll use the vehicle. So the fact that you drive the vehicle sometime, now you need to pay.
no, 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 no. Now, that's different. If you drive the vehicle,
You should pay half
then
of her car note.
you should pay
Not put gas in
something.
it, but pay half of the car note.
You should pay something. Whether it's the insurance, you put gas in there every time, or you pay a portion of the other car note because you're using her car.
What if you have your own car and you just use hers every blue moon?
Why would you use hers if you got your own car?
Because he said she wanted him to pay half her car note. He had his own vehicle too. But the fact they living together, she was like, everything's gonna be split on her end. She wasn't gonna help him with his. But since he's a man and you moving in
Nope,
the
nope,
house,
nope,
pay
nope,
half the
nope,
rent and
nope,
help with the car note.
nope. If we are in just a relationship, if we just in a relationship, we gonna do 50-50.
Okay.
We're in a relationship.
So your rule is dating and trying to get to know each other 50-50.
Yeah, because if you're in a
Engaged,
relationship,
committed, pregnant, wife, your person is a different kind of scenario. We're gonna come to the table and talk about something different.
If it's your wife, you're gonna talk about doing something different. If it's just your baby mama, if y'all just engaged right now,
Yeah.
if we're
Well, man.
engaged, we're gonna talk about what we're gonna do when we get married.
Right.
But until that happens, we ain't
Yeah, because
doing
I always kept a little method where I never did if we wasn't, because I never been married. So when I got married, that 100, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna just make sure I'm able to take care of everything. Stepped in. But like you say, other than that, it was more of a 50-50 per se, or the formula that I showed, knowing that if something happened, I'm able to walk away and still be good. It was like you said, anything can happen at any time. And I actually lived like that, like you did. I'm sure you did too. We was like, it's beautiful right now. Toast, champagne glass, everything, mimosas. It's good right now. But at any given time, that shit can crumble. They see an old email. They look at an old text message. They see you walking beside an old buddy going to the car, old female that you used to talk to going to the car. She telling you her mom died or her brother died, and it's a problem. And then now you going through shit. So anything can happen when you're dating. And like I said, like I preach to people, and I even tell the wife, it's different when you're married. You just can't say fuck this and walk out. I mean, you can, but on the same note, once you're committed, you have to talk things out. Make sure it's
and then once you married, the law says everything that came during the marriage, then you gonna go 50-50 on
50-50. Like what his name? What's the guy name? Shannon Sharp. 50-50. You gotta go 50-50.
Right. Yep. So relationship,
that's different.
You 50-50. Divorce, you 50-50. You married, you 100-100.
Wow. Well, that's a cool way and a good way to 50-50. But yeah, like we say, and he broke it down. It ain't nothing else really, man. And I know you didn't think of that. God put that shit on your tongue to put out there to us, but that wasn't something you would have thought of. That was too clever.
Nick, you crazy. I mean
50-50 when you in a marriage is 100-100. In a divorce is 50-50.
Exactly.
That was that in a relationship is 50-50, and in a divorce is 50-50. But when you in a marriage, it's 100-100. So yeah, that was cool. That was cool. But on that note, like I say, when we always end everything, we give our opinion, then we say at the end of the day is what worked best for you. But at the end of the day, fellas, if you're not financially able to support the family yourself, downgrade, look at other options, and
don't downgrade. Don't downgrade. Just do what's economically safe for you.
Yeah, downgrade. Because if you can't afford to live in a $2,500 or $3,000 a month house, mortgage, rent, don't do that. Because
live in an
if something
economically safe
happens,
space,
you got to be able to take care of the family, especially if kids are involved. Because I've seen relationships where the finances got too over the head, and their pride wouldn't let them downgrade, and they end up splitting up because, we can't afford this, and then they drifted, and he leave, and she wants him to leave, and she goes back with the mama with the kids, and it can get nasty. It can, and I'm sure Austin has seen it, especially living out there in Texas. I've seen it. So live within your means, basically.
actually live below your means.
Yeah, within and below, because you got to be prepared, because anything can happen. Just like when Austin was working and you hurt your back, that wasn't expected. You see what I'm saying? And then me leaving Louisiana coming here, it really wasn't expected. Then when I got here, I had to adjust to, like you say, the new prices because they not like they were in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't like that. And so things can happen. And so now I'm here like, man, I ain't know it was gonna be this. I ain't know it was gonna be that. You know, because you trying to get this something 1,200, but then when you try to get to 1,200, it's not available. But you can let everything go down there. So now you into the 800 and 2,100. You see what I'm saying? And then it just was and what I call an unexpected expense, because I kind of try to keep things organized. But there's you got to leave room for those unexpected expenses. Whether somebody has to go to the doctor and they don't accept your insurance from Louisiana here, so it's like it's just unexpected things. So you have to go back with your company and find out what insurance they actually take in your area. It's just a lot. So you have to be prepared. So if you're living above your means and those unexpected expenses come up, and this is we getting into financial conversation, but you have to be prepared. So the 50-50 is cool if that's what you need to do. But I prefer it being what you want to do instead of what you need to do. Because if something happened to the other 50, then what?
Yep.
And that's what the couple that I briefly talked about are going through. And once I pay my 50, I'm done. And I don't think that's fair on either side. So I just can't do the 50-50. Do 100-100. If you ain't got it, I got it. And then you pick up what I did. If you pick up what I just paid, you pick that up on your next check. If it's got to be like that, you know what I'm saying. But if I pay something, I don't even want it back unless
I know a married couple that if he has to pay the rent, and if he can't pay it, they'll absorb late fees because she refuses to pay.
Wow. And she has the money.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the couple that I'm talking about. And that's not healthy. And she not happy, he not happy. So my thing is, and you learn from all your relationships, and I was always known as a runner. When things ain't going right, I just get out of it. I get vamped. You know what I'm saying? You taught me to stay the long haul and make sure that it's over. But when I would see signs or you don't do for me what I do for you, I automatically start going back in my shell. And then I'm not talking to you. And then I eventually disappear. And I've just been like that with it since shit, 3rd grade. A friend will take something and I'll just slowly fade, and I forget about them. That's how I do it in relationships. So I don't see how that couple, I would just leave. They're not happy. And it gets to where I'm not going to help you pay. Though you see me with money flossing, I'm still traveling. I'm coming home with food. When we needed mortgage, we needed rent paid. We needed mortgage paid. We needed the car note paid. And you told me, well, I gave my half.
But actually, they're happy. But
how they happy?
That's what works for them.
They're not happy.
No, they're happy.
No, the same couple will be on here next year around this time, and I'm gonna be telling you, yeah, they got the divorce. Remember the couple I told you about? If it takes that long, because they've been unhappy for a minute. I don't know why they, I guess they still trying to fight it because it's a marriage, but
forget that.
Neither one of them gonna walk away with much because how they living, but it's crazy. But give your final thoughts on the 50-50. We already know that whatever works best for you, so we ain't gonna tell them.
I already gave mine.
Oh, yes, right. You closed it out. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, my thing is, I ain't gonna say it's what works best for you, but men, the women are not respecting you like depends on the type of woman you choose, but majority of the women are not gonna respect you if she knows you need her to make the ends meet, especially in the modern day women, the modern day dating scene. And we've seen that. I ain't make it up. We've seen that with the videos we played. They don't. If you want to give 100% respect, you got to pay 100% of the bills. And that's the mindset of 80% of them, at least 75. So men, get on your shit. Be able to do to take care of majority of everything. If you have to, if you want that respect or that title as man of the house, because women are looking for any reason to go against man of the house because of social media. There shouldn't be such thing as gender roles, and you shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that. But if you somewhat traditional man, y'all got to get out there, get on your ass to try to make ends meet, because if that woman paying majority and you don't have the right woman with the right mindset and the same focus goal like my man Austin and his wife got going, and like what I got going, those women are going to gobble you guys alive, and you're not going to get the respect. And a lot of the millennials and under, they accept the disrespect. We are not. So if you want the respect, try your best to do what it takes where you can run your family and be head of household, if that's the title you want. But other than that, if that woman going 50-50, they're going to see you as a roommate. You're going to get lip. You're going to get attitude every blue moon when she want to get her hair did, but she need to help you with rent. She want to go get her nails done. She got to help you with electric. So just try to get your things together to survive. And on that note, we out. Speak on It podcast. And what we say, Austin, is out there happening, so we might as well what?
We might as well speak on it.
And with that being said, we out the next week. We got a lot of things coming up. Fall edition is going to be more hot. But we out of here. And as we always say, peace.
What you think, man?
I've been in the polyamory lifestyle. I can't even say lifestyle because it's not a lifestyle. It's a way of loving, not a way of living. I've been polyamorous for about 10 years now. Okay. And the mindset for me is mentally, I think I've been polyamorous longer than actually practicing it, because I've always felt that this like monogamy just doesn't fit for me. Right. I don't understand why I have to only love one person, or why I can only show affection for one person. Where is this written? Why do I have to go along with what the societal standard supposedly is? Right.
And then
the problem comes when you love somebody too much. When you let yourself love somebody too much,
and they don't love you the same.
It's not even matter whether they love you back or not. They can love you back, but it's still unhealthy to love somebody that much. Which I understand that ideology of that. Well, I can't have. I might as well. I've been there. I know that. But at the same time, you have to realize, what your culpability is in a relationship going, however it went. You start thinking about, well, damn, I did this. So, you can love somebody too much. And then, see, that complicates things for us men, because we already have a hard time forming those emotional attachments. You already told don't do that.
The missing link to that goes back to a time before we even thought, why doesn't my father is that a protection for me? Right. Or is that the way he was raised? Or maybe somebody hugged him one day, a man hugged him. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying we got
but there are things that could have happened that absolutely that caused him to be the way he is.
Made him feel weird, needed So the things that we think are sometimes a rejection or a lack may have been a protection.
And most of the time, they are like absolutely. So if we don't understand that, all we know is a rejection.
You see, like what I understand with my father,
men were going to jail, killing each other, and then now we got bisexual, then we got gays, now we got transgender. So with all of that going on, the purpose of that was removing the black man, the black male from the household. Okay? So with him not being in the household, she's getting the welfare, or she's out there in the workforce, forced to take care of herself, and if she have children, to take care of the children alone. Whether he's in jail, whether he's dead, whether he's bisexual, whether he's gay, whatever. The black male was removed from the home, and black woman was forced to provide for the children, for herself.
You're missing one other thing that removes black male from the home. That's white women. Because after a while, it was a run on black men, white women. Yeah, white women. You know, at one point, black men, they just had to have a white woman. No matter what their social economical status was, white women was the way to go. And so that pulled a lot of black men out of the house.
Damn, I sure missed that. I mean, I know Rick James, you know, I know, you know, I mean, you hit it. I just didn't think of that as a major absence of the black man. So you
being a provider means so many things.
Right.
It means put you in a house. You know, it means I got your back. It means we're doing this together. It means I'm not gonna walk away when things get hard. You know, that's providing, right? I'm gonna provide emotional protection so that you can, you know, I'll be present for you when you don't feel like you can be there for yourself or whatever, you know. So there's so much more definition to the thing, right? And even on the flip side, looking at, you know, men with kids, right? I remember I did not want a man who had kids, and I was about 25 when I met my